First on overseas soil.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners of Rugby World Cup 2015.
So thinking back to those scenes only 2 or 3 weeks ago, lifting aloft the World Cup trophy for the first time, now you're back in New Zealand, looking after your son, going through the daily business of everyday life, does it all seem a little surreal?
Yeah, mate, seems like a little while ago now. I think the first night I got home I had to get up at 5 o'clock and lift my baby and stop him from crying, so I'm back to daddy duties. But yeah, it was a pretty special moment, just all that hard work paying off, and just celebrating with some pretty good men, and just sitting out a few guys that have been in the All Black jersey for a long time.
And leading into the final, how much pressure yourself did you feel personally?
Mate, I always thought about that, like before the World Cup. Imagine if I make the World Cup final, like maybe able to play, or like the preparation wise, but like it just felt like another game. Like obviously it's a little bit more on the outcome, but I just prepared usually the way I would for any other game, and I'm just fortunate enough we got the job done.
The All Blacks, still the kings. Is this the greatest ever era, even for New Zealand?
What about having the 6 guys, the 6 veterans retiring at the end of the World Cup? Did you talk about that as a team, or did you feel any extra pressure to perform because you wanted to send them out on the right note?
Yeah, we never really talked about it during the week, but personally that was a little bit of my motivation, especially having quite a bit to do with Kevy, throughout the years, and I'm sure that would have been on the back of a lot of guys' minds to send those guys out the way they deserve, and I'm just glad the way we could do that at the end of the day, and but we never really talked about it as a group, and that's probably a measure to those men. They didn't want it to be about them; they wanted it to be about the team, and like I said before, I'm just stoked we could do that for those guys.
Did you ever allow yourself to think what it would be like coming home to New Zealand without the World Cup trophy?
Mate, I don't think I would have come back to New Zealand, to be honest. I might have had a couple of weeks holiday somewhere else, but yeah, I did think about that, but lucky for enough, we came back as winners, and to see what it meant to New Zealanders through the parades, and seeing family and friends, I'm just glad we could put a smile on people's faces.
Just want to talk about the end of pool play for the All Blacks. Obviously there was a fair bit of media attention on the less than flawless performances, shall we say, and a bit of pressure mounting back home for the boys to step up, so to speak. Did you guys feel that as a team, or were you always confident that you would kick on once it came to knockout?
We did get a lot out of those games, especially against the Georgians. I think all of those guys play professionally in France now, and they were very angry, physical men. So
players on the right, McCaw holds it up, and Dane Coles is in.
We probably went out at our best, but I think coming to that French week, we kind of addressed that. We wanted to really make a statement, and I think that French game was probably. I've played a few tests now. That sticks out, like the way we would have killed anyone that night. Just our mindset, and I remember coming off, and I remember I'd come off for 65 minutes, and I was still pumped. It was a pretty special game to be a part of. Obviously with the 07 and Cardiff and Wayne Barnes and stuff like that, and the way that we played was, I think we kind of peaked at the right time in that World Cup.
Given the fact you've got the pace of a back, you never thought about chucking your name in the Rio Olympic sevens hat?
I did play a little bit of sevens growing up, and it's always good. You've got a bit of space, and can always run with the ball a bit. But I'll think I have one good run in me, and then I'll be subbing it off. But yeah, it'd be awesome to. I was a little bit maybe smaller, I suppose, so I could last a little bit longer. But yeah, I never put my hand up.
Yeah, so your son's just over a year now, and you've experienced a year full of being the joys and highs and lows of fatherhood. How has that experience, I guess, changed your perception just on the world in general, and changed you as a man?
Yeah, mate, you definitely having a son. It's you have a new appreciation for your parents. I think what they had to do, having you. So yeah, mate, he's awesome. It's just gives you a new perspective on life, I suppose, and yeah, it's always good coming out. Even if you lose a game, coming home to a son. You get up at 6:30 in the morning to a crying baby, to a hungry baby. So yeah, he's awesome, mate. And it's a little bit harder being on tour now, like being away from your family. But it makes it all the worthwhile when you get to come home and spend the time with your son. And just so it's pretty special.
I certainly think it's made me a more well-rounded person. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think they soften you up too, mate.
Yeah,
So he's especially when they're crying. I think you do anything to kind of to make them happy again. So yeah, he's changed me, I think, and yeah, hopefully I can continue to have a few more and yeah, have a family.